Today's video is sponsored by Good Chop.
Why isn't he biting you in the arm?
I don't know.
Hold him. I got to take a picture and send to Melissa.
Oh, okay.
So Adam's not afraid of snakes, obviously.
Not that one.
That's about a 4-footer, four or 5 footer.
Yeah.
Huh.
Pretty neat.
Keep going.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you get down over that edge, you're not gonna come back.
So Adam, stumps like that with your big excavator, how long? Like 5 minutes?
Yeah, maybe 10. You know, it all depends on the stump, but yeah, it's way faster than a mini. Once, if somebody calls me in to do stumps, I don't even look at my mini anymore. I take the big machine and pull it in.
That's a good half hour with mine.
Yeah.
And Adam and I were just talking off camera. You just have to take the time, dig all the way around it, and don't even try forcing it, because it's not going to go. Yeah. It's just not going to happen until it's ready.
And then even when you think it's ready, you can dig the whole way around it. Sometimes it still isn't ready.
And the maples, you can't get the dirt off them because there's thousands of them little roots.
Fine roots, yeah. And it holds all the weight. That's the...
Like that. Look at that. That's all. You could drop that thing 20 times.
Yeah.
You get a little dust off it.
And it's, you know, the roots hold the stump for sure, but it's the weight of the dirt that really anchors it.
Yeah. So, yeah, Adam, we were just talking about how things look different on camera.
Yes.
Like this looks steeper.
Yeah, way steeper in person than it does on your videos. I mean, to the top of the grade up there, you know, where it levels off, it's 15 feet from where I'm standing. It does not look like that on camera.
Deer down there mad at us.
Yeah.
So Adam and I just took the truck for a ride, my dump truck. What do you think of it?
This is really nice. We were talking about the turning radius of this versus like your pickup or my dump truck. So I have a 99 F550. And one of the biggest complaints I have with it is it takes forever to get around, and like you need a lot of space to maneuver that truck, or you're constantly like, you know, jacking around to get it into places. My truck has leaf springs in the front end, and so that limits how far the tires will turn. And so we pulled into this parking lot. I was just curious.
Yeah, yank it around here one time.
So it's not going to probably show up on camera, just like we were talking, but like my truck would probably be comparable to that as far as the turning radius on this. And then this truck, you can just keep going.
I forget to keep turning the wheel sometimes. I'm so used to my F350.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like...
This gets around. This is comparable to my Suburban.
This is comparable to my Subaru, I think, almost.
yeah. It is amazing how tight of a turning radius this truck has.
Yeah.
Really nice.
It's a nice work truck. Just basic, but it's got everything that you need for work.
Air conditioning, cruise, power windows. Those are my 3 big things.
Yeah.
Very
I went back and forth on diesel versus gas, and really I looked at it for the amount of miles I'm going to put on it, and the warranty that I got was the big thing.
Sure.
10-year, 75,000 miles, and it was like $3,000 or $3,200. That's $320 a year. Like a turbo goes on in this truck, it's $10,000-$12,000 from the dealer.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Which hopefully you have trouble-free problems with it. You know what I mean? But
it's just cheap insurance.
Absolutely.
It's one insurance I don't really mind paying. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah. No, this is a really nice truck, Mike. I might have to go upgrade my old one.
You got how many trucks and how many engines do you have?
I haven't counted for a long time. The last time I counted, I maintain over 50 engines, and it's more than that now. I know.
Yeah.
And it's too much.
Yeah.
I can tell you it's too much. And nothing. Rarely, once in a blue moon, does something go to a shop. It's always me taking care of the issues. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna head her back into the house.
Yep.
Earlier, I mentioned that today's video was sponsored by Good Chop, and we love Good Chop. If you're not familiar with them, they deliver high-quality American meat and seafood right to your door, including the best bacon I've ever seen or heard of. Everything we've ever gotten from Good Chop is high-quality stuff. You know, sometimes the grocery stores can be kind of hit or miss, you know? You don't know what you're going to get. With Good Chop, every package we have got from them is chock full of delicious, high-quality meats and seafood. Also, unlike many other companies, Good Chop, they source all their meat and all their seafood from American farms and fisheries. So when you choose Good Chop, you're supporting local farms and ranchers right here in the good old US of A. They have over 100 menu items, including USDA Choice Prime steaks, 100% grass-fed beef, wild-caught seafood, organic chicken, responsibly raised pork, and so much more. And they have a 100% money-back guarantee. You can't go wrong. Go to goodchop.com/YouTube and use code Morgans50 or click the link in the caption below to get $50 off plus free shipping on your first box. All right, so it is first thing in the morning. Just enjoyed a wonderful breakfast, and I'm headed out here to the clearing. We finally got some much needed rain last night. We had some rain yesterday, but last night it rained a lot, and it just couldn't have worked out any better. I mean, it was just perfect because the day before the rain, I got all my dirt work finished up out here, got the food plot all seeded, and then Adam, my buddy Adam, dropped off his roller, and I rolled the pad well into darkness, and I haven't been out here since. But we probably got, I don't know, maybe half, 3/4 of an inch of rain yesterday, and I think that's going to be plenty to, one, keep the dust down, and two, get that winter rye. I just saw a buck. Get that winter rye. Oh man, they're everywhere. I gotta focus. Enough rain to get the grass to grow. I've had a lot of people comment, you know, I'm always talking about trying to find a roller, about getting one for the skid loader, and that would work. Just my opinion, something like what Adam has, they just hit way harder. They're way heavier. You know, this is an old machine right here, but and the thing is, if I were to buy a new one for the skid loader, you're probably looking at $12,000. But eventually, I'll find something like this for the same price. There's a big buck out there. My goodness. Oh, they're everywhere. I don't see where anything washed. I do see one puddle, 2 puddles in my road. It's not finished graded yet. I'm gonna walk out through the field so I don't have to walk through the topsoil. We'll take a look at the pad. Or I should say, so we don't walk through the mud. All of that around the outside was all torn up and regraded. But all this in here was that buckwheat that I mowed down the other day, and then I just overseeded it real heavy. But yeah, that was a perfect amount of rain. No big gully washers either, just a nice steady rain. So the other night before I rolled this, I shot it with a laser, and I was a little bit low on this end down here. So I put a couple inches in there, and I just wanted to get it close. I know I need to fine tune it later, but right in the middle of the pad, there's a puddle. So that's obviously a little bit low. But I think the weather looks good the next couple days. I'm gonna let things dry out today, part of tomorrow, and then I'm gonna stone the road coming out. I got geotextile for that. We'll stake out the building, and then we'll get a load of 2B limestone, put it on the pad, roll it in, just to kind of keep them out of the mud when they're building it, and we should be good to go. It'll get torn up, you know, I'm well aware of that. They're gonna be running a machine around, drilling a bunch of holes, and they'll probably have like, no, they just use a skid loader with a boom on it to set the trusses. But I can't wait to show you these guys in action. They will have this thing done in probably 3 days, easy. But yeah, looks great out here. But I'm going to take the excavator back to the yard. I need to fuel it up, grease it, take the big bucket off. I'm probably just about ready to put the rake back on, back into wood mode. This morning it's 48 degrees, and tomorrow morning it's going to be 30 is what they're calling for. So I think the warm temperatures are over for now. We'll probably still get like an Indian summer, but it's basically it. We're going to be burning wood here probably within a week. All right, so I'm down here at the wood yard now, and making some beautiful cherry firewood. And these logs that this wood came out of are nasty. I mean, kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel. Real gnarly stuff, twisty stuff. But look at what a nice product that makes. And it's because of this right here. That tumbler cleans all the debris off of it. Really, really makes nice stuff. With the 16-way wedge, perfectly sized. We had this just about full last week, and as time allows, Levi's been filling baskets like this. All this wood in here, it will be ready to burn this winter. I'm not saying next week, but this stuff's been sitting around a long time, and I was shocked when I checked it with the moisture meter. The wettest I could find was like 22-23%, and that was a couple weeks ago. So we get it in baskets, and this will be for all those people that don't order enough wood and run out in February. Here's some baskets that Levi filled up last week. Here in the next day or two, I'll get these all stacked up and put away, because pretty soon we're going to start working out of that bay right there for our own use. That woodshed holds about 9 cords of wood. That oak, that last bay, all oak, that's been in there for a while, like a year and a half maybe. I'll have to go back and check. But this is all ready to go, everything that you see in the woodshed. So with that being said, if need be, we can sell some of that wood as well this winter, because there's no way we will go through 9 cords. So the plan down here is to make logs go away. I got all those logs over at the neighbors, all those ones out at the new wood yard, all this stuff right here. This is mostly all oak and hickory. I think there's only 1 cherry log left in there, but that stuff, after we get the bunker all cleaned out and in baskets, we'll just fill it up with everything that you see here. But anyway, with that being said, we got big things happening here before winter. They're coming out on the 20th for the pre-construction meeting for the new building. That'll be coming right up. We'll be sawing some lumber. I got a bunch of pine logs that I need to saw to put siding on the building. Got all kind of stuff going on. Running out of time though. But I think that's about it for today's video. I appreciate y'all being here. Double check, make sure you're still subscribed. If you're not a subscriber and you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing.